Finley Crusader here, and welcome back to the channel. So it's combine day, or will be soon, so we're going to kick off with just a small repair to this combine before we can get going, and then a trip out to Alford to fetch another combine, and which will all become evident. So we're going to go on part one. I think there's that much stuff, we're going to have to do two goes at this one. So yeah, sit back and enjoy, and we'll catch you on the next. Okay, so I've got another little repair here, little job, and you can see a tin worm's been busy in there over winter, and it weren't as bad as that when we it got rust showing, but it wasn't through. So what that is, it's a collection area from the grain off the sieves, and that comes right through into that bit there, and that bit there is the elevator that goes right up there and goes into the tank. So I've built myself a piece of tin, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the crap out of this, all the rough stuff, to stop any bits from getting in, and a Tek screw plate on the bottom, just so we can use it Sunday. And then obviously that's bear that in mind that we've got that bit to repair. There's still one or two welding jobs on this machine anyway, but so we've got to crack on and get that done, and then it's a usable machine again for the weekend. So let's let the daylight in there. Look, you can see the auger. And hopefully where I've cut it, it's above the radius of the auger, so hopefully it won't catch anything when I get it buttoned up. It's got just a few jagged edges just to relieve here, and then that's it. I'll pop the bit of tin on. Okay then, so there you got it, look. 6 Tek screws in there. Just tidied that up, it's solid, so that should do that really. So that'll hold it until we can get in here and do a proper repair anyway. Okay, so we're at the Manor House today at Alford. We've just come to pick up the Massey Harris 780 special. All strapped on, ready to go. So that's it. I'm going to make tracks and I'll catch up with you in a bit. Okay, so we landed, we're home, and it took exactly 2 hours, and that's what it took to go Carrington way. As opposed to coming home the A16 way. Nothing in it. apart from I stopped in more lay-bys. so it probably would be quicker if I hadn't got to stop in the lay-bys. But anyway, we're here, we're safe. So it's the first one down, 2 more to go. So if you're wondering why the breather's not on, I've just fetched the combine from Alford, the Manor House at Alford, and we decided that the breather ought to come down, considering that I broke my breather on mine, you know, last year by catching it on the trees. So, that's the option why we did that. Nice combine, Massey Harris. Mine's a Massey Fergus. It's a 780 special. And one of mine is a 780 special. But 2 very different combines. 2 lever arrangement and no clutch. So yeah, very different operation. Anyway, I'm going to crack on, go fetch the other one. Okay then, combine number 2. 780 special again, this time with a Perkins 4270. We do believe that it was TVO and been changed, but there's no evidence to back that up. It has got the twin filler tank on it, but it appears that the twin filler tank stayed on the combines right up to the 788. So I suppose only the serial number would tell if you've got the history in front of you. But anyway, so they're there together. So we'll just nip back now and fetch the 788. Okay then, so that's combine number 3, and that's a 788, and I've got both tractors down here now, so we're all ready and raring to go. Okay, and so Ashley's just putting a bit of petrol in, and I'm just running around doing a bit of greasing up on the knife and rocker bar and so forth, and we'll be going in a few minutes. Okay then, so we're just giving Ashley some directions and order of what we're about to do, and then basically it's a case of drivers, start your engines, and there's no sound to this either, but I was just climbing aboard and turning the keys and getting them to go, and then just as I start to draw off, I've got another idea. And because we've folded the spouts in just to keep them close together, it suddenly cogged my mind that bugger, we better get them straightened up before we go any further. And I have a go manually there, and it's you just can't reach it to do it. So I just nip off and go and get the pitchfork from out the trailer, and then just give them a bit of a tweak. And we've got to get better organised so we get sound of all these bits and pieces, but my aim is to do the job, not record or do the camera job as such, and As you can see, we're just giving it a bit of a straighten up and pop round, have a quick look at Ashley's. You've got to give it a little tweak. There you go. And that's it, we're pretty much ready to go. A lot of work to do to get it organised and sorted out, and you know, we're always going to miss out on a little bit of something somewhere. So here we go then, first run round. Okay, so I just popped over to see Jamie. He got a problem with the stay bars on the reel, and he'd got one or two stay bars, fastened to one bolt, and it had all come adrift. So I'll just pop back to mine to grab some spanners and nip back, and we'll get the job tightened up so we can set off again. It's just one of them things. I mean, to go around and check every nut and bolt on the job would be virtually impossible, but it just come loose for whatever reason, and we're there fixing it and get ready to go again. all probably it should be. Grease and the plate is loose. But yeah, it's swizzled round. I mean, the whole thing should come back. And I ain't got another one because that's one off the other bed because I broke it last year. I broke it in the transport. Almost like I couldn't get it.
Right. That's got off. There's nothing you can do about that, mate. You need to know what to do now, don't you?
That's what I do. Yep, I nearly made a new one and I thought I'll get them off a bit out of one.
Yeah.
Obviously it wasn't. Okay, so this is a 788 and this is the bed conrod or the knife conrod, and what happened was last year I broke it in transit on the low loader. It caught the low loader wheel and it bust it. It didn't break it completely in half, but it split it a little, you know, like down like a couple of grains, if you like. So what I've done in order to get our other combine going, well, get this combine going again after the failure of the one I replaced it with, I decided to I screwed the joint up that was split in the conrod to start with, and then set to and wrap some tin round, and it's done the job, like. But it's a damn shame really, because it was like almost like a brand new blooming conrod. It was in beautiful condition apart from you know, I busted it like. But anyway, it's what you do, and the thing is to find the way around it and get it sorted. And like I say, we put the one off another bed on it, and it was dried out quite badly, and although it was bolted up tight, the pressure of that flying around like it does was too much for it, and the bolts come loose, and that was the end of that. But so we got that sorted, and of course, and then the thing that happened in the finish was the flat belt. As decided to let a layer go, and it was flapping and banging and going in two, so we had to call it a day anyway. So it was sort of all in vain, other than, yeah, it got us a bit further around the field until such time we had to park it up.